right, guys, welcome back to my channel, the Present Parent Series. If you aren't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe so you can get notifications that the Present Parent Series has dropped another video. Tonight, I'm bringing to you a very important topic about the importance of obtaining and maintaining life insurance, okay? So I have with me the wonderful, the beautiful Miss Vincenta Moody, who works for Primerica, and we're just gonna hop right in because I have some very important questions as it pertains to life insurance. So my first question, Miss Moody, is what is life insurance and why is it important?
So life insurance is a way to protect your income. And in the event that you pass away prematurely, your income can still be coming into your household and your family won't have to miss you financially. They'll miss you, emotionally and physically and mentally, but they don't have to miss you financially.
Okay, awesome. My second question is who should have life insurance?
Everybody that has a heartbeat.
So everybody.
Right. And I say that, we're laughing about it, but death is real and we don't know when it's going to happen. Everybody knows when they're born, but nobody knows when they're going to pass away. So everyone that is alive and living should have it for sure. People who definitely have families or homes, or they have certain assets that they want to be paid off in the event of their death should for sure have life insurance immediately.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how much is life insurance? And I know this is kind of a vague question because I know that it varies based on who you're insuring and how much coverage you want. But can you kind of just give us like a range of like, what's the least amount somebody can pay? Because let's be real, getting insurance is also, you have to fit that into your budget. Everybody can afford a life insurance, but they might not be able to afford the $1 million policy. So
right.
Give us just an overview.
So when it comes to cost of life insurance, one is going to be based on what type of life insurance you purchase. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I have job life insurance and it's like pennies on the dollar at my job. And I'm like, well, that's not realistic because if you leave your job or if your job leaves you, you don't have any coverage.
Right.
So one, you need to make sure that you have your own personal policy. Now, when it comes to personal policies, one, like I said, it depends on what type you have. There's only two types of life insurance, no matter what anyone tells you, is whole life and term. That's it. And there are different variations of whole life, but there is just two main types. So let me see, I want to explain, just kind of break it down into layman's terms. One, you should have at least 8 times your annual income in life insurance, but everyone can't afford that. So going back to what you said is you have to budget for it. So I would typically say if you are a healthy person, because life insurance also is not only based on the type you have, but it's also based on the age and it's also based on health. So if you are a young person, and when I say young person, I'm saying like 28 or younger, and you are in relatively good health or great health, you could probably get a decent policy. And when I say decent, I'm talking maybe anywhere between 150 to 300,000 for probably about $25.
Yeah, that's really affordable.
Right. Because if you think about it, a lot of us, even in that late 20 range, a lot of us have homes, a lot of us have spouses, a lot of us have children. So we need at least some substantial amount of life insurance. So if you are in that range and your health is still great, you could be looking anywhere between 25 to $40.
That's awesome.
Now, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people think that life insurance is very expensive, but the sooner you do it, the less inexpensive it'll be. Exactly. And the sooner you do it before your health starts to decline, because when your health starts declining, then that's a whole nother route.
Now, can
when it
we
comes
have
to.
multiple policies?
Yes, you can have multiple policies, as long as you've done all your medical, they accepted you, but no one's going to be like, oh, well, you have 10 policies. I mean, 10 would be a little excessive, but just figuratively speaking, no one's going to say like, oh, you have all these policies. It's just, can you check out on the health part?
Right.
Can you afford it? Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So you guys heard it here first. You can get life insurance as costly as 20, anywhere between $25 to $40 a month. And most of us
Mhm.
know some of us are just blowing that money on food in a week, eating out, going out to
Oh
eat, going
my
to the movies. I mean, it's so
gosh.
easy to spend
Amazon,
$25. Amazon, oh God, Amazon and Target get me.
Target.
Yes, Target and Amazon are my best friends, and I spend way too much money in both of those places. But it's so this is vital, guys. This is super important, not only um for ourselves but for our families. Like Vincenta pointed out,
Right.
they're gonna miss us in the physical world as we're gonna miss them as well. But that's the best gift that we can give them, to know like, wow, like I can pay up the bills, I'm not gonna struggle, because most of us are coming from two income households to now just one.
Right.
And if you were used to, my wife was paying the utilities and I was taking care of the mortgage, and now you have to take care of the mortgage, and God forbid they
Exactly.
had car notes left behind and other debt, most of that is going to go to next of kin. So if
Mhm.
your spouse is leaving you with enough money to take care of their debt plus household expenses, I think that's pretty good. I think that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
and it's
Um,
necessary.
is
It's
very necessary, and it's a long overdue conversation, especially for the Black community. We have got to do better with making sure that we have life insurance on our children, life insurance on our spouses, on ourselves. We don't ever want to be put in the position where we have to create a GoFundMe link, or we have to
yes,
do a fish fry. I mean, but I will
yes,
say, Black people, we got to get it done. We will get it done. But let's change the
yeah.
narrative. Let's change the
Yeah,
narrative.
let's not have to struggle, or the family have to come in and say, okay, well, how much do you have? How much do you have? How much
Right,
do you have? And now they have to take away from their households to
right.
try to figure out this death, when we could have just avoided and skipped all of that for a few dollars a month. And also
Absolutely.
another thing, I see often people try to get life insurance that is not in their budget.
Mm,
And it's okay to have life insurance that fits your budget right now, because your budget is not going to always be the same your whole
right.
life. So people have to know that you can increase and you can decrease your life insurance based on where your life is over the years. It's not like you get one policy and like
For life.
this is it, you got to stay there, right?
Right.
And maybe you had a 5 6 figure job when you got life insurance, and then you got laid off. Now you're down.
Yeah.
So just put it to fit your budget, be comfortable with that. And then if you want to increase as your income increases, then you can take those steps. But don't feel like you got to get like 1 million if that's not where you are income wise, because the last thing
Right.
you want to be is, you don't want to be in a situation where you're like, okay, lights or life insurance.
Yikes. Yeah.
You don't want to be there. You don't want to
Because
be
most
there.
people are going to
So
choose the lights. Let's be honest. People don't want their
yeah,
lights to go off. So the message that Vincenta is trying to get across is adjust as necessary, but please make sure that you
exactly.
keep maintaining that life insurance. So my
Yes, don't
next,
have zero, but have something.
exactly. So my
Yeah.
next question, Vincenta, is in your opinion, and I guess you can weigh the pros and cons, but which is better, term or whole life insurance? I know that's probably kind of a tough question, but
I mean, after doing proper research, when it comes to the two, term is better than whole life. In my opinion, everyone may not agree with that, and that's okay. But the facts are the facts. Term life insurance is for a specific amount of time, right? It's traditionally cheaper, and you can
mm-hmm,
typically get a lot more coverage.
that's true.
right? But when it comes to term, people have to be careful because all term policies are not made equal, right? Because just because it says term now doesn't mean that when your term is up, it's going to be term later. So you have to be careful of that. Some companies put term policies to change over to whole life policies. So that's something you want to keep an eye out on. But when it comes to term and what it's for, is literally to protect your income temporarily. And you could get the max amount of coverage for the lowest cost, right? So to me, economically, that makes sense, right? Versus life can be, is typically a lot more expensive. But a lot of people say, hey, well, let me get whole life because I can have it for my whole entire life.
Right.
Right. And I don't have to worry about it coming to an end at a certain period of time in the premium increasing.
Right.
Right. That's what people get scared of. But with whole life, they sell it to you that you're going to get a death benefit, a protection, that you're going to build up cash value. So they're going to invest a portion of your premium for you every month that you pay, right? And then you'll be able to accumulate money over the years that you, right? But how whole life gets you and how a lot of people come up short is that they say you can borrow from your cash value, right? Keyword borrow. Now, let me ask you a question, Devin. If you went into state employees and you're putting your checks from your job every month, right? And you put one check you put in there on Friday, you go back Monday, you say, hey, go ahead and let me get 300 out. I want to do whatever with it.
Right.
And they say, well, Devin, you got to pay this $300 back, even though you just deposited on Friday. You're going to have some.
Absolutely.
You gonna be asked, would you allow the bank to do that to you?
No, I would be trying to figure something else out.
Exactly. It's gonna be a big issue because it's like, this is my money. So that's where it comes into play, because people hear borrow and they're like, oh, well, I can get some money off my policy.
Right.
Right. But you're paying yourself back. So you're breaking even. So the biggest picture for my clients personally is for my clients to be financially independent, right? Get term life insurance where you can get the max amount of coverage for the lowest cost. And while you have that, go build wealth outside of your policy, because life insurance is not an investment. Life insurance is for income replacement. That is it. Right? Go build wealth that has nothing to do with your policy, whether you do an annuity, a mutual fund, an SCP, a 401k, whatever you choose to do, stocks, whatever you choose to do, build it outside. But so you will eventually get to a point where you don't need life insurance.
Right.
Right? Because do you think celebrities have life insurance?
Probably not. They
Most
got
of
all
them
these
need
assets. They got paintings,
yes.
cars, houses,
right. Most of them need some wills, but that's a whole nother conversation. But if you have the money in the bank, you don't need life insurance. So
right.
You should be willing to eliminate the need by building wealth.
Exactly.
Right? When someone comes and talks to you about whole life, they're like, you need this for the rest of your life. They're not talking to you about building wealth. They're not talking to you about how to get your income up.
Right.
Right? They're just like, you need to be dependent. That's pretty much what they're saying. So if you ask me for a client, I think you should just get as much coverage as you can get for the lowest cost possible. And then the money that you would have been spending on a whole life policy, invest the difference in a whole nother investment. And now you're building wealth. In the event that you pass away prematurely, you have the max amount of coverage for
right.
your family, right? Or if you live too long and you see that money accumulate, now you got 100, 200, 300, 400, $500,000 in the bank. You're like, I don't need this life insurance bill anymore.
Right.
Now it's out the window. So that's my view on it.
Okay. That was super helpful. And I hope it was helpful for our audience, because I hope right when you finish listening to this video, you're like, I need to go get some life insurance. Okay. So my last
Yes.
question, Vincenta, can I still get life insurance if I have a pre-existing condition?
Absolutely, you definitely can. Now, there are specific conditions where it's just kind of going to be just a no. But everybody's different, right? And a lot of times, life insurance companies, they're just kind of monitoring, okay, well, like what's happened in the last 10 years or the last 3 years. But everybody is different, and sometimes people think that they will get denied. But I always say, just try, put the application in, and have your agent submit it where you don't have to do a payment. You only do your first payment in the event that you are approved.
Okay.
But just try it just to see if you can, because you don't know. It's not a cut and dry thing.
Yeah.
There are a few slim situations where it's cut and dry, but majority of the time, if you do have pre-existing conditions and you do get approved, you just may have to pay a higher premium because they may assume you as a higher risk.
Right. That makes sense.
One thing I do want to let people know is that automatic off the gate, you can know that if you do smoke tobacco or nicotine, you will have a higher rate.
Okay. That's good
Yeah,
to
you,
know.
yeah,
But,
automatically, even if you're healthy.
okay. But it's good to
Mhm.
know that even with being a nicotine smoker, or even having a pre-existing condition, that you're not counted out. Like, you still can
Exactly.
have coverage. So that can't be an excuse for people.
It can't. It
Absolutely.
cannot. You're not counted out. Just go try, get with your agent or get with me, and just try it, put it in. And because
Absolutely.
there's ways, a lot of people think, oh, well, I gotta pay and I gotta wait for them to send my money back if I don't get approved. There's ways where you can submit the application, see if you get approved, and then if you're approved, then you can pay.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to use these last few minutes, Vincenta, for you to plug yourself into my audience and tell them what you do, how you can help us with life insurance, and anything else you want to say in these last 5 minutes.
I just want to thank you for your time. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Thank
First,
you
I
for
wanted
coming
to
on the
thank you
platform.
first. I just want to thank you first. And I think what you're doing is phenomenal. This
Thank
is
you.
really going to get our eyes open. You're giving us some
Absolutely.
good, solid content that we need, that we can take, apply, and then in 20 years, we're going to be like, well, Devin had such and such on there. And because of that, now I'm in the position I need to be in.
Absolutely.
So keep going.
Thank you.
But on the other end, people can reach me at Vincenta Moody on Facebook. I should pop right up. Or my business page is Epic Legacy LLC. And pretty much what we do is we are life insurance agents, but we are also financial services agents. So we help our clients on the full spectrum, not just life insurance. We do auto and home. We also do legal and identity protection, and we also do investments.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we don't want you to just, we don't put our clients in a box. We want them to become financially independent.
Okay.
That's the end goal. I don't want you to be paying life insurance with me for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
I don't want that. That's not what I want, because that means I'm not helping you.
Right.
So that's how we help people. We educate them about life insurance. We educate them about investing, and saving money and making money. And I mean, I feel it's very impactful. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, Vicenta, what are you doing? I would have never said financial services, but it's been so rewarding to help people, especially people who have been in, just like in situations where it what they got wasn't the best for them,
Right.
and just to be able to help them and give them the education and a place where they can plug in and feel safe is, I mean, it's been phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Phenomenal,
Well,
yes.
congratulations to you and Tim,
Thank
for
you.
being being a part of something that is so important. And we don't ever want to put our families in a position where they have to literally scrape and put stuff together and sell the house just to put us into the ground or cremate us or put in the mausoleum, whatever your plans are past this lifetime. So,
Right.
I appreciate it mostly because most of the people that we are trying to target are people our age, in their 20s going into their 30s. And we've grown up a lot since undergrad. A lot of us are married, we have children, we have spouses, we're more worried about and responsible for more people than just ourselves. So it's time to really start getting those things in order. And I know that sometimes death can be really scary to talk about, because nobody wants to leave their family behind. I mean, if we could all live forever, I think we'd be 500 years old, still trying to chase around the multiple generations that, are coming behind us. But at least we
Right.
can know, while we're resting, that our family is financially taken care of and they're not struggling. So again, I want to thank you so much, Ms. Cinta, for joining me on my platform, educating the audience about the importance of life insurance, breaking down the difference between term and whole, letting us know that if we are tobacco smokers or if we have pre-existing conditions, that we are not counted out. That's not going to be a barrier to why we can't get life insurance. And the most important of it all, not only is it essential, but it's cost effective. 20 anywhere
Yes.
between $25 to $40, we can get 8 times our salary. So again, I'm going to make sure that I drop Vincenza's contact information on my channel. So please, guys, make sure that you follow her on Epic Legacy on Facebook. If you need life insurance or any type of financial services, this is the person that you want to go to. It's a one-stop shop, so it's super convenient. You don't have to go to multiple people to get several things done. Everything is going to be in one place for you. So again, make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you next time.